I would now like to introduce our past president of the association, Howard Coker, who will now swear in Michael Haggard as the 50th president of the FJA and also the FJA's 3 officers. If I could first have Howard come to the podium, or at least stand up.
I am standing up.
I know that. Get up. You can't tell, that's the problem. And Mike and Becky, would you come to the podium, please?
Will you repeat after me? I, Michael Haggard, do solemnly swear to uphold and defend the constitutions of the United States and the state of Florida,
Constitutions of the United States and the state of Florida,
to promote public safety and welfare while protecting individual liberties, and to diligently work to ensure that the courts will be kept open and accessible to every person for redress of any injury. Congratulations, Mike.
Well, I cannot tell you what an honor and a privilege it is to be up here as the 50th president of this incredible organization. You know, here I stand after some dark years with Jeb Bush, 5 medical malpractice special sessions, a statewide amendment fight, countless tort battles in Tallahassee, countless election cycles. But guess what? Here we all stand right now. I stand here as president of one of the most important organizations that the state of Florida has, bar none. Because there is no one else up there fighting for the everyday Floridian. We are up there time and time again standing for principles such as justice. That's what we stand for, and that's what we do. You know, sometimes you hear, people talk about being a trial lawyer, and they talk about their cases, and that's fine, and we all do it. And I've had the incredible opportunity to try some big cases, and I can tell you they pale in comparison to the battles, the wars on the campaign trail, and the battles and the tort battles in Tallahassee. It is no longer good enough to stand up and say, well, I'm a trial lawyer, and if you have the privilege to get up and seek justice in front of a jury in this state or in this country, I say, and we say, you have the obligation to defend that justice when it is under attack. You know, I see this fight pretty clearly, and I always have, because I see it through the eyes of my childhood. I see it from the dinner table where I sat there, where my father would talk about the stories of the clients he represented, the Greg Steads of the world, the families that he continually fought for. I see it from the eyes of my childhood at 8 or 9 years old, young Madison. I started going to the office and working on files and putting files together. I met the clients, and I've always seen it that way, and I can tell you, I owe pretty much everything about the fiber of the person I am to my father. But probably the biggest thing that I've never thanked you for is choosing this profession, because I love it every day. I love what we fight for, and I love being with you. I love practicing with you and learning about this fight and being with all these people. And thank you. Well, and there is sacrifice, and there's been sacrifice, as every spouse can tell you up here. And that's who should be telling the story of the sacrifice. I saw it in Xander's eyes. I saw it in Eddie's eyes, and Debbie's eyes, Frank and Susan. And you miss baseball games, and you miss cheerleading, and you miss the most important thing that I love to do every day, Maddie and Carson, is tuck you in bed, say your prayers, and kiss you goodnight. And I am fortunate that I have children who understand what Daddy's going to do. And he's going to fight the bad guys. And And when we changed our name from the Academy of Florida Trial Lawyers, and Jackie's going to get very upset with me for revealing this secret, it was not due to any image with trial lawyers. Everybody knows that. There's none of that stuff. It was because the kids of the board and the executive presidents, and Dan Gelber knows this, wanted more than their parents just to be trial lawyers. They wanted them to be members of the Justice League and superheroes. So we're trying to live up to that. But you can't do this without your best friend and your spouse being there with you every step of the way. And I am so fortunate to have a partner, the love of my life, the mother of the two most important people to me in the world, who not only understands the fight, but when I call her, time after time from Tallahassee, as Tom has called Julie, as Fred has called Robin, say, it's going to be one more day. It's just going to be one more day. They TP'd the bill, but we got to stay for one more day. And Becky's reply every time is, you don't come home till you win. And thank you for that attitude. And I could not embark on this journey without my firm. And my firm has let me do this for a lot of years, and I can never thank them enough for what they've done. My partners, my brother-in-law Doug, my partner Jeanette, Jim Bolecki, Christopher Marlowe, and all the staff. I've had one secretary since I started practicing law at the Public Defender's Office, and she has been there every step of the way. She has walked the walks. Barbara Diaz, I love you. I thank you for everything you've done, and I'd like to recognize our firm, if you could stand to be recognized. But it comes from mentoring, and when I joined our firm, I wasn't hired by my dad. I was hired by the first person I ever worked for, who I clerked for, who encouraged me to do this, encouraged me every step of the way, even though I was gone 8 weeks in 2005 session. When you're gone all that time, and never heard anything but keep doing it, keep winning, keep doing what's right. You need to serve, you have to do it. And I know I would never be anywhere close to this podium without Bob Parks. And Bob, thank you. It's been a rough couple months for our family, as most of you know. And Becky and I lost our second mother in the last 5 years, and my dad lost his soulmate in Carol. And I can tell you that there's no bigger cheerleader for what we do than Carol. And she is with us here in this room. My mom's here in this room. And I tell you what's amazing is when I look out at this audience, it's the people who were there when we've had the celebrations of life and the wakes when I lost my two moms. You talk about a family, I mean, it is the same audience. I mean, you all have been there for my family. You have been there for this organization. And I'll never, ever be able to thank you enough for what you do. But I promise you, from my family, from these officers, from this board, that we will do everything we can to ensure that the safety of the citizens of this state is never breached again. Thank you.